It's not very good.
I would definitely put it in the top 10.
So good.
It's kind of a mess.
A great work of cinema.
Train wreck.
Beyond a slasher, beyond a jump scare.
More thought has gone into the story.
Respecting the source material.
Extremely gory, extremely violent.
The lighting, the sets, the costuming.
Extremely scary.
Well staged, well shot, well acted.
I saw the comedy for what it is.
Relentless.
It was just really, really good.
This is pretty cool.
Another reason why I think it's
So good.
We do have a system, and it works.
Hello, and welcome out there in podcast and YouTube land. You have reached Johnny Has the Keys, a podcast and YouTube network. We talk about horror movies, science fiction films, key influences on the particular topic of the show, and then things that topic influence moving forward. Been doing it for a while now, and obviously based on that strange start, we are somewhat unscripted and impromptu in how we discuss it. We don't even know what we're going to say, let alone what the other person's going to say to us. If you're new to us, we would love to hear how you found out about us. If you wouldn't mind clicking down below that like button or whatever you're looking or listening to, and leaving us like a comment maybe of how you found out about us. We'd love to spread the word and get more people listening or watching. We've been doing it this is our 8th season now, and it's our favorite month of the year too. It's our first episode in October. Let me introduce Tim to you. My name's David. This is Tim, my partner and co-conspirator in all things Johnny Has the Keys. Tim, what you been doing? It's spooky month now.
It is spooky month, and we normally break the ice with a topic of something that we may have seen or ventured into recently. And I watched a haunted house movie called Presence. This movie has been on my radar for a long time. We often research movies that are coming out for our little subsidiary podcast YouTube show, Coming to Get You. And I had been seeing where this was coming for a very long time, and I didn't know if it was ever going to come out, but it finally did, and it's on Hulu. It's a Steven Soderbergh movie.
Oh, this wow. Did he shoot it with an iPhone?
It looks kind of like it.
Okay.
That's why it was on my radar, is I was like, he's a pretty renowned director. He did Sex, Lies, and Videotape, as well as Traffic and Aaron Brockovich. So I was like, I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the scary movie. And I like it, but it has problems. And it reminds me of a movie that we would have made in the 80s on videotape.
Okay.
It's one set, one director, one cameraman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can tell it's very limited in scope. It was written by David Koepp. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So he wrote Jurassic Park, adapted Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, Spider-Man.
He wrote Steven Spielberg's new one, the new Alien movie. It comes out next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Well, the cast is great. It stars Lucy Liu, but she's kind of wasted. They don't really use her that well in this. It also has Chris Sullivan, who is probably the best thing about it, and some newcoming youngsters, Kalina Liang, if I'm saying that right, Eddie Mayday, and West Mulholland. Synopsis is: a family moves into a new suburban home and soon becomes convinced they are sharing it with an unseen entity. This presence seems to have a particular focus on the family's daughter, Chloe.
Poltergeist.
Another reason I watched this is it got 87% on Rotten Tomatoes with 231 reviews. I don't get it, but it's probably because I don't like found footage movies, and that's what it feels like. I would bump it down to a 70 at most, and that is not because of the acting or the writing. It's because of the director's choice to execute it. I think it's flawed. It should have been produced as a traditionally made film. It would have been much better. I think it would have been captivating, actually. Instead,
Soderbergh has been really interesting. I'm not sure about this one, but I know the past two movies he's done before this, he just shot on iPhones. Very intimate settings, but even one had a big, huge action sequence in it, but he still shot it all on iPhones.
well, this was
And
a
I'm not
digital
sure if-
camera, but it was not an iPhone. I did look it up. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a digital camera. That's the word they use. And he is clearly hand holding it. Just imagine, you know how people don't like slow burn horror movies? We always talk about how we love them, but most people don't like slow burn horror movies. Well, imagine a slow burn horror movie shot on an iPhone. It's even slower. It just doesn't work for me. So,
Yeah.
sorry, Stephen.
Yeah, again, I think he's very much into these smaller stories, low production value. Honestly, I haven't seen any of his stuff in years, so I couldn't tell you, but that would be my take from reading the trades.
You should look at it just to see what I'm talking about.
Well, you did horror and I did science fiction, but not really science fiction, more science fact, but it would be classified, I think, in anybody's realm as science fiction just as a genre. I went back and watched Ron Howard's Apollo 13. I saw something interesting recently with Gary Sinise talking about theater and some theater work that he's done recently. And on the same day, my master class, which I signed up for a year and I've been doing, was Ron Howard talking about directing and how you figure out where to place the camera. Ironically, speaking of Soderbergh, where you put it and how you pace it and does the camera move or not. So I thought, wow, Gary Sinise and Ron Howard, yeah, Apollo 13, hey, let's watch that again. This would have to be one of my movies that I say I would not change anything in this entire film. From graphics to effects to casting to scenes, dialogue, nothing. Everything works in this film so well. And it's that genre like Titanic where you know the ending. Why is there suspense building up and dread and everything else when you know how it ends? But the craft of making the movie and the way it's done and the acting and everything else is so good that you go, I don't know if they're going to make it. I don't know if they're going to make it. It's historical. I'd say it would be in my top 20 of all time. And I think it is one of those, like I said, that applies into I would not change a thing in this movie. Great performance. Have you ever seen it? You've seen it.
I haven't, and I recorded it the other day because it was on TCM, Turner Classic Movies.
You should watch it. It is well done, and you like a lot of the people in it. So, like Gary Sinise is really strong. It's one of the best performances Kevin Bacon's ever done, I think.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
And who plays Cranston?
Tom Hanks.
Well, no, Tom Hanks is the lead.
And
so
Bill Paxton, maybe.
Paxton is excellent in it, and so is Ed Harris. Ed Harris is really strong in it. So, and they're all playing real people.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot of love and research and everything that went into the screenplay, that went into the making of it. The special effects still hold up, and this thing was made in 95. So it's loosely based on biography that he did of the event. And if you don't know I think people who even don't care about the space program or care about science or space or whatever else, it's still easy to follow. You understand, and you really see the impact and how close these people came to dying.
Right.
And how incredible it was.
I may have seen it. I just don't remember if I've seen it or not.
Well, and also found some unique facts about it that I didn't know, and I researched and went, okay, that can't be true, but I researched it. But one of the ones was it literally launched at 1313, at 1:13 from Cape Canaveral. Apollo 13 launched at 1313.
Wow.
So they were doomed.
It's funny that you bring it up because I was just talking to Dennis about Ron Howard last night or the night before last. We watched that Barbara Walters documentary, and he produced it.
He is so underrated, I think.
Well, he's got his finger in everything. I'm like, how does he find the time? Not only does he direct movies, he does television series like Arrested Development. He did the Barbara Walters thing, which is nonfiction. He's got a daughter that directs movies and is an actress. He is a busy guy because he's obviously got a boundless curiosity for things in the industry, and everything he touches seems to be really good.
In the master class, he goes into, because he does several hours. It's like a 6-hour class if you just take his. But there's times when he talks about, even when he was on the Andy Griffith Show, he would talk to all the crew guys and he would watch them and everything else. He wanted to know how things worked and how you did it. Did the same thing during Happy Days
because he was older then.
And could actually do some of the pull focus and learn the cameras and the lenses and everything. And it shows. He is just, and to me, he's never gotten the recognition. I think he's only been nominated once. That was Brilliant Mind, I think. But I think he's severely underrated in Hollywood.
We just did a movie of his a few episodes back, Cocoon.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. So anyway, I went to outer space and luckily made it back home again.
You did a very scary film.
It was so scary.
A movie that wanted to be scary. And I think that that's a good segue to what ours is today. Before I introduce it, I'd like to say this is a listener request episode.
Ooh.
It is, I think, our first listener request episode of the season. It is. And it is from a friend of ours that we've known for quite some time. Mr. Bill Pitt suggested we do a little film called May.
How did he find this before we did?
He didn't, because I knew it. I saw it back when it came out. This is not the first time I've seen it. This movie came out in 2002. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, let me give you a brief synopsis.
Go watch
it. Yeah, go watch it because we're going to spoil it. Basically, you've got May, played by Angela Bassett. She is a lonely and socially awkward young woman. When she was a child, she had a lazy eye, so she was ostracized by other kids. Eventually, as an adult, she gets that fixed with contact lenses. But she never really grows out of the weird awkwardness. I would say as she gets older, she's still isolated. She wants to be normal. She's clearly turned on by a young mechanic that she meets. So she wants to have relationships with other people, but she's also morbidly obsessed with people's body parts. Like she notices whether someone has really nice hands or a nice neck or nice legs. And you're like, what is this girl up to? When she's a girl, since she's kind of lonely, her mother gives her this doll named Susie that's in this glass case. And the mother says never to let the doll out of the case, which is kind of a metaphor for May. She never really quite comes out of her shell, so to speak. And she meets this guy named Adam. He's a mechanic. They start dating. He shows her a film he's made that's like a zombie film where people are eating each other. So when they start making out, she bites his lip and he freaks out, breaks up with her. She doesn't understand. She works at a veterinary hospital, so she deals with medicine and surgical instruments and things. And one of her coworkers, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, is a lesbian that's got a pain fetish. And when she sees May doing something to her thumb with a scalpel, she's turned on by it. And after Adam breaks up with May, May ends up having a lesbian relationship with this coworker. But this lesbian coworker is a free spirit. She doesn't want to be tied down by just one lover, so she ends up with another lover, which May's jealous of. And eventually May just goes off the deep end, and she starts killing these people and collecting their perfect body parts to make herself the perfect friend, because she can't seem to find the perfect friend. And I don't know that I need to explain anymore. The very end, which we can talk about in scenes, is cool, but that's basically it. She's like a little young Frankenstein, for lack of better words. It's a great key to this movie anyway. I'm assuming you had never seen it.
Never heard of it. So had no clue about it. That's why I made the statement, how did Bill find it? I don't know how he found it. I'd love to. Bill, comment and let us know how you found out about this movie first.
He will, I'm sure.
I really liked this movie a
Yeah,
lot.
it's good.
It is so layered and so complex, but also so simple, if that makes any sense to anyone out there.
It does.
The fact that she's obsessed with body, the fact that he gives her a lazy eye to begin with, which would tend to make somebody obsessed with the body and parts of the body, and why does this part not work like this other part, was really interesting. And then her possibly being on the spectrum or somewhat, and just this innocence and naivete and everything else. I was convinced, by the way, total tangent, I was convinced that in the end of this, we were going to see that she killed her parents somehow and their corpses were in the house or whatever. Because I just got the feeling she's still in the house that she was raised in. Anyway.
Yeah, they never really explained what happened to her parents.
No, nor is it really, really vital. That's why I kept thinking, oh my God, it's going to come up as some chase at the end and you're going to find the body parts like Halloween or something. But anyway, they didn't do that. For those of you who haven't seen it, why are you listening to us? Go watch it. I'll come back. It's just the layers of her and that innocence and that loneliness and wanting to be a friend and not knowing how to connect with people, whether it's a lesbian or whether it's the new boyfriend or whether it's at work or with a doll. The whole, like you said, the whole layering thing of she's never come out of her shell. Also, you can't touch me. You can't be intimate with me. You can't hold the doll. It's just some really, really good stuff in this. And she is phenomenal in this.
I totally agree. And I don't want to besmirch any of our past listener request episodes. We've only been doing listener request episodes for about 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
And I will say that so far, this is my favorite listener request. So thank you, Bill Pitts, because we've had some stinkers. We had the stuff.
But I think that was the requesters wanting us to suffer.
Well, it is. And I also love bad movies. So nothing to whoever requested, I can't remember who requested the stuff. But anyway, this to me is one of the better ones so far. And I did see it when it came out on DVD in 2002 because I had read about it in Fangoria magazine. And I wanted to see it, but I never watched it again. And I get it confused sometimes with Jennifer's Body, which I'm pretty sure is a Frankenstein story too. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, this movie is probably better because, well, I don't know. I can't remember Jennifer's Body.
Well, and there's so much horror genre, not tropes, but layers in this. There's suspense, there's some body horror, there's some dark fantasy kind of eroticism. There's definitely erotic material to it. There's also obsession. There's all
great
kinds
cast too.
Really strong cast. Yeah, very good. Although in the first 2 scenes, I even have in my notes, in the first 2 scenes, I go, is that the girl from Schitt's Creek? Who is this girl? I don't know. She looks really familiar. And then I finally realized, oh my God, that's Anna Faris.
It's Anna Faris. She doesn't have blonde hair. We're so used to seeing her with blonde hair, you don't even recognize her. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not recognize her the first 2 scenes. I was going, I know this person, but I
knew she was in it, and I didn't recognize her. I was looking for her, and I was like, where is she? And then I was like, that's her? Yeah. It blew me away. Well, a little bit of a background. It's directed and written by a guy named McKee, and I've always remembered that name because I think it's a great name. And I wanted to see what else he had done. And he writes, directs, and acts in films and television. And really nothing of note film-wise other than this, but he has gone on to be fairly well respected. He actually directs the show Poker Face right now, and that is a huge show on Netflix.
Is that the one with what's her name, the curly hair?
Natasha Lyonne, exactly.
Yeah, Natasha Lyonne, yeah.
And that series is very well respected, so I assume Lucky is doing well. This movie is directed well, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, very strong.
I've got in my background notes that it could be considered a satirical take on society's superficial, never-ending obsession with vanity and perfection, and how absurd it is for alienating someone based on their imperfections. You were talking about layers. There's your layers right there.
Yeah, bullying, everything else. The first and only scene we see with her growing up, she's bullied. First meeting. So that's
Yeah. What about scenes? Do you have any favorite scenes that stick out?
I have a lot. I liked, you mentioned the lip biting scene. I like that entire scene. I like the eroticism of it to begin with, but then I like the reactions and the fact that she likes to smear the blood on her and everything else. And the way she is actually into it, she looks at him and the way she even phrases, yeah, but you like weird or whatever he says, this is strange or this is weird. He has a line like that. And she's like getting into it. She's like, yeah, but you like weird. And he was not this weird. Uh-oh, went too far. Which I think anybody with any form of fetish or unique, especially sexual or related to sexual encounter, there's always that risk factor, especially with somebody new, that are they going to like this as much as me? Is this a kink they like or whatever? So I thought that was a really cool, complex scene that could have been done really cheesy or really funny or really gross and weird, but there's so much well done about it, from the way it's shot to the way they perform it, everything that I really liked. I thought that was a great scene.
Yeah, I did too. Any of the scenes where she's getting sexy, whether it be with the Jeremy Sisto character, Adam, or the one that Anna Faris plays. What is her name? Polly. I could not remember her name. Anna gives her a cat named Loopy.
The whole cat suture story is really good. When she's talking with the Polly character and talking about sewing up the cat and all that, I thought that was great.
I love the ending. The very last scene in this movie blows me away.
Excellent.
Because you're like,
excellent.
This woman is clearly off the charts crazy. She has put together a body of her favorite parts of people she knows. It has her doll's eyes. And she's like, you don't see me, you don't see me. So she ends up pulling one of her own eyes out and putting it into it, saying, see me, see me, see me. And then she just collapses from exhaustion, I guess, from creating this thing that's not really responding. And the very last scene is it raising its hand and putting its arm around her. And that's the end. And you're like, is that thing alive?
Well,
what the fuck?
And shot in such a way as it could have been alive and or it was just a delusion of her or hallucination of her because she's dying, and or you can't see her left arm anyway. It could be actually reaching out and grabbing it and pulling it over to her. So that ambiguity is excellent. And I also like the fact that he bookended it. The movie starts with her doing that scene, with her stabbing herself in the eye. And then suddenly we go to months earlier. The whole movie's like a flashback of that. So yeah, I totally agree. I think the final scene is excellent. And it doesn't leave you going, what the fuck happened? Oh, what's happening here? Oh, I don't understand. It leaves you with this almost, you feel sorry for her, but then you think, oh my God, why am I feeling sorry? She just killed like 4 people.
And I think you nailed it with the ambiguity. There's a lot of ambiguity in this film, but you don't mind. And it's not a traditional film because it doesn't have a traditional narrative, and it doesn't give you the ending that most America would want as far as a triumphant ending. It ends sad and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why I like it, is because it is so unique. It is not your typical fare.
Well, it's interesting. This was, what year was this?
2002.
2002. And now we are in currently 2025. And filmmakers now are so relying on this false perception storytelling where an entire scene will take place and then suddenly it'll cut and that was all in their mind. That was all a delusion. That was all yada, yada. And you're going, okay, is that supposed to be scary? Is that supposed to be, I don't, why did you do that? To me, it's an elevated version of the whole wake up from the bad dream to another bad dream cliche that was big in like the 80s and 90s. When you'd have a scary scene and suddenly they would jump up and they would be asleep, and then Freddie would jump out again, and then they would jump up and they'd be asleep.
You're
That
Bob
sort of thing
Newhart and you wake up in a new sitcom or
in
an
a
old
new
sitcom.
Yeah. But the whole that storytelling thing seems so cliche and bad now and is badly done, whereas this one does it so well because we don't get shocked out of it and we don't think, oh my God, are we not seeing what we're seeing or what's going on or I don't understand. All the stuff with the doll makes sense, so to speak, but also leaves us with questions thinking. Is that doll going to turn into Annabelle? Is that doll somehow evil? Is that doll possessing her in some way? And none of that is true. And it's very...
There's not a single scare in this whole movie. And it didn't need a jump scare.
No, there's not, actually. No. You're right. There is not. It's very... So scenes, I think I have just one more.
Sure, go ahead.
The one that got me was the whole... Because it got me... I love it when a filmmaker and or a screenwriter does the thing where it's a shock or a twist, but you see it coming just about like a minute or 2 minutes before it happens. I do like the twist where suddenly it's like, no, but I'm your evil twin brother or whatever.
It also makes you feel smart because you see it.
Well, yeah, and you go, oh, they're not going to do, are they going to do, oh, they are going to do that. Oh my God. And it was the scene where she brings the doll to class. And I went, oh my God, the face of that is already broken. This is not a good thing to have a bunch of blind kids. And then when they all started reaching for it, I was going, see, no, they're not going to, really going to, and then, oh yeah, they do. And those little poor blind kids are putting their hands into glass shards. I was going, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this. That was a great scene.
It's a very memorable scene.
It reminded me of the light bulb scene from
Oculus.
That we just did. Because it was that same. I don't handle glass cutting very well. It bothers me. So there's that body horror for me.
I don't know if I have any more scenes. The entire movie is great. It's made up of great scenes. I can move on to cast if you want.
Sure.
I think cast is one of the strengths of this movie. It has multiple strengths. I think the direction is good too. But I want to talk about Angela Bettis. She plays May. And I'm like, what else has she been in? Because she is fantastic.
She is.
She is still acting in television and film, but it is mostly stuff I am unfamiliar with.
She's done a bunch of one-offs. She's done an episode of House, an episode of CSI, an episode of
I think she is just a really established character actress. And she's a hardworking actress. We just don't see her and stuff because she's not a star. But she could be. Oh, wasn't she in... Maybe I'm getting it confused with another. Wasn't she in Jennifer? Oh, no. She was in Girl Interrupted. That's where she got noticed as one of the co-stars of that Angela Jolie movie, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And she's a side character. I think that's where she got discovered. And then she's been working ever since. That was the late 90s.
That movie has a lot of cast in it. It's got a bunch of, if I remember correctly, it's got a couple of others that are really...
Is it like Winona Ryder, maybe?
Yeah. I think she's in it and one other person. But she was just really, I talk about it in acting class and everything else, just really strong choices she made. Because 85% of this movie is her. And her reactions to things without dialogue. So but we have no trouble interpreting what she is thinking with the way she changes her eyes or the way she has a half smile that isn't totally a smile, but maybe not. Or when she, like you said, when she is aroused or trying to be sexy, when she's putting on airs as opposed to when she's being real, how she handles anger and everything. She's just really, really strong in this.
I did not mention that she did a great deal before this that is of note that I think should be mentioned. Her debut role was in the romantic comedy Storia di una Caponera, directed by Franco Zeffirelli.
Wow. I did
Yeah.
not know she was in a Zeffirelli. Okay,
I
so there
was
you go.
trying to get to that before you started laughing at my pronunciation because Zeffirelli is huge. Zeffirelli is known for doing Romeo and Juliet and another Shakespeare. Didn't he do Hamlet? I can't remember.
Yeah, strong Italian director who was very visual, very good visual
Very,
storytelling.
very. She later went on to a film called The Last Best Sunday before supporting Winona Ryder in Girl Interrupted and Kim Basinger in Bless the Child. Now, Girl Interrupted was successful. I don't think Bless the Child was.
Probably not.
However, she's a Broadway baby too.
Oh,
Did you know
really?
that? Yeah,
did
she
not.
starred in 2 Broadway productions, The Father in 1996 with Frank Langella and Abigail Williams in a 2002 revival of Arthur Miller's The Crucible with Laura Linney and Liam Neeson.
Damn. Who'd she play? Abigail?
She played Abigail.
She could do that so well. Man, that would be great.
Yeah.
Love
She's
that
awesome.
play.
So she was doing stage acting really before she started doing. Well, no, The Father with Langella would have been before Girl Interrupted. The revival of The Crucible would have been after. So she's been jumping back and forth between film and stage. So she's got some cred. I think it's just that directors know her and audiences probably don't. Does that make sense? I think it does. Did you catch that her middle name in this movie is Dove? Dove?
No, I did not.
And her last name is Kennedy. So her full name is Maid of Kennedy. It sounds like Maid of Candy.
Right. Interesting. I didn't get that at all, but there you go.
Yeah, I just thought that was very strange. Jeremy Sisto plays Adam, her love interest. When he came on the scene, I didn't have a lot of respect for him because he played a really jerk character on 6 Feet Under that I just did not like. But I have grown to really appreciate him as an actor. He was also in Clueless and the horror movie Wrong Turn. And you see his face all the time. He's another character actor that you see in television and stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him. Another one that's like that is Anna Faris. She got her fame, I think, in those scary movies that one of the brothers did. I can't think of who are the brothers. The comedic brothers
Who?
did In Living Color.
Wayans?
The
Wayans
Wayans brothers. Didn't they do the scary movies? I think they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Okay.
did.
And she's in a lot of them. So I think
I
that's
think
kind
she's
of
the
where
lead in all of them.
Yeah, I think that's where she put her stamp on the map of stardom. But she's also the former Mrs. Chris Pratt. They have a kid together. I don't know if you knew that. Before he went off and married Maria Shriver and Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Yeah. Let's don't go there with that stuff.
So yeah, Anna Faris is another very familiar face. I remember her most from that sitcom Mom because Dennis watched that show with Allison Janney. But I think she left the show, if I'm not mistaken. It ended up being just Allison Janney. James Duvall plays his name is Blank. He is the kid
Spikehead
she
guy.
meets toward the end with the tattoo of Frankenstein on his shoulder. Do
He's
you
the-
remember? He's the torso. Do you remember him?
No.
Well,
I'm
you
not supposed
should,
to? Oh, no.
because he was in a movie that we covered last season. And it's a movie that I think you could easily pair with this movie. And it's Donnie Darko. He played Frank, the rabbit.
Oh. Well, no wonder I didn't recognize him, Tim.
Well, no, he's actually a character as well, other than the rabbit.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't remember him. He looked familiar, but I was like, no, I don't know.
Yeah. He was in Independence Day too. I'm assuming he was one of the kids because he would have been young if this movie came out in 2002 and Independence Day came out in like 96 maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, so he played Frank and Donnie Darko. The reason I bring that up is, you know what? I'll do it when we get to keys. That's cool because it's a key. Then I think the other girl in the movie is Polly's additional love interest, Ambrosia. She is played by Nicole Hiltz. I've got She did nothing really in the last 15 years, so she must not be acting anymore.
Yeah.
However, Kevin Gage played Papa Kennedy. This guy has done a ton and is still working steadily. He was in Heat, he was in G.I. Jane, he was in Con Air, he was in
Dang.
Blow. He was Kelly Preston's first husband before John Travolta married her.
Okay.
And I didn't realize Kelly Preston died. She did die. She had
Uh-huh.
breast cancer. Yeah. Anyway, he played Papa Kennedy. And then I have Merle Kennedy played Mama Kennedy. She's not really done anything else. And Chandler Riley Heck played young May in the flashbacks. She was a child actress and has done nothing else. So anyway, that's the cast. But I would say the strength in this is Bettis, Sisto, and Ferris. They're the main actors in this movie that carry the film.
Of course. Yeah. And like I said, 85% of that
Is Angela Bettis. Yes, exactly. As far as awards, this movie won some. It gave Angela Bettis an acting award at the Brussels International Film Festival, so that was an international award. The Catalonian International Film Festival gave her Best Actress and gave McKee Best Screenplay. It was nominated for Best Film, but it did not win that. The Fango Chainsaw Awards nominated it for Film, Actress, Supporting Actress, and Screenplay, and Bettis won again for Actress. So she got recognized on the circuit, just not in the big awards like Oscars or Golden Globes or anything. And this movie's not on the 1001 movies you must see before you die, and I get that. There's no way this movie would end up on that. Too many people would hate it.
I don't know.
Because they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have in my notes, and I found this through research. So a lot of times, folks, you can find out those questions you might have in a movie by doing some research on it. We start out with her as a child, the lazy eye, and we see it and everything else. And then her mother, to help her not be ridiculed, gives her an eye patch to wear to school. Like kids will not make fun of that.
Are you a pirate?
Yeah.
That's what that kid asked her. Are
That's
you
what
a
a kid
pirate?
asks her. But the thing is, it's her right eye that is crossed, and yet the eye patch is on her left eye. And I thought, oh, they made a horrible mistake with that. Because then later on you cut and she's going to see a doctor. Glasses help her correct it, but now she wants contacts. So the contacts will do the correction for her, yada, yada. But I found out in research that that was actually correct. You cover the good eye so that the lazy or Marty Feldman eye
Makes it work. Yeah.
will go and realign and work for you. But I thought at first, oh, if she's trying to cover up that lazy eye, that's a wrong eye patch. That's on the wrong side. But I was wrong. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Don't know. I don't have any trivia on this movie. All I have are keys. So did you have any other like background or trivia you wanted to talk about before we move on to the keys?
I just had like a couple of just watch notes. Like early on, I said, if that doll's eyes move, I am jumping out. Music all the way through this is also very, very good.
I don't remember who did it.
It's a lot
you
of
write-
songs. It's a lot of songs that I actually could hear some of the lyrics to, and the lyrics were actually working for what was happening song-wise, but I didn't write any of them down or recognize really any of them. I just have 3 different times in my watch notes I've got great music, good song. So let's see.
I'm looking right now.
loved
James Luckett.
Loved the shot where they're doing the montage near the end, and it shows her washing her leg, and it pulls back, and it's not her leg. It's a dismembered leg that she's washing in the tub. I thought that was so brilliant to start at the foot and just pan up, and then suddenly you see the stump. I was like, oh my God, that is such a good horror movie. So yeah.
I've got James Luckett was the composer for the movie. He really doesn't have anything I recognize. He worked on Masters of Horror, but that's because Lucky McKee worked on Masters of Horror. So
I
I'm
just
sure
think
it
it was really appropriate. The music worked for the scenes, not only his orchestral stuff that was thematic or emotional, but the song choices that were actual songs. So,
yeah. Key.
keys?
Well, I already mentioned Frankenstein. I would say
That'd
that's
be the first
obviously
one.
the biggest that you could think of because it's not based on any literary works or anything, but Frankenstein is a literary work that it's inspired from.
Ironically, that was my first key. My second key is this movie gives me Donnie Darko vibes because I think Darko took the science fiction bent to it. I don't feel like when she is in a delusional or in a weird perception moment that we are cheated in this. Everything seems very rational from her point of view. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like when the guy tries to hit on her at the bus stop and she kind of says something and he reacts weird and she gets very upset about it. We don't know if that really, really happened or not, but even if it didn't, it still works for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I got distracted because I forgot there is rock music in this movie, and it is
Yeah.
by somebody that I really like, and I have it in my keys. And it is The Breeders and or Kim Deal. Kim Deal, for those of you that
Uh-huh.
don't know, was the bass player for Pixies. And I love her. And
Uh-huh.
Pixies, she ended up quitting the Pixies twice, and they've been moving on without her. And I don't like them anymore. They don't sound
Mm.
as good without her. But she has a sister that is a twin named Kelly, and they have a band called the Breeders. And there are 5 songs in this movie by either the Breeders or Kim Deal. So that's the rock music, if you like it, that's in this
Yeah.
movie.
It was really good.
The composer is that Puckett guy I mentioned. But so you're
Hmm.
probably talking about Kim Deal because I could see why you would like that too.
Yeah. I've got a
And
little bit of
I don't know why I have it
Carrie.
as a key. I guess because it's very integral to the movie. There was a
Oh, it
lot of it
is.
in the movie.
And like I
I,
said, every time they use it, it works for the scene that they're doing.
mhm.
So it works for me. I've got Carrie just because of the mean mom that seems overly oppressive, and that can lead to you having a twisted young daughter.
And then not also the fact that she is a very shy and introverted daughter, like Carrie.
And budding sexuality and having
Oh
her
yeah.
first boyfriend. So there's a lot of Carrie feel to this. I've also got Annabelle just because of the frickin' doll. China dolls are scary anyway, and big-eyed China dolls behind glass are scary. So
Okay, I gotta add that. British kids, shower curtains, big spiders, dolls
big
behind
spiders,
glass.
right? It just dolls and big glassy eye looking stuff. That's why I love that ending where she goes, you're not seeing me, see me." I was
See
like,
me,
"Ugh."
see me.
Yeah, that was really good.
No one saw her
Uh,
the whole movie, her
true,
whole life. No one saw her. I
true.
have, this is a very bizarre key, but it's for a line reading, and it is
Okay,
Interview with a Vampire.
really?
When she says, I need more parts, it's just like when Claudia goes, I want some more.
I want some more.
And as soon as she said it, I was like, she sounds just like Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire.
Well, and the way she portrays that last act twist where she looks beautiful when she's all made up and the fact that she can call Polly and be so hey da 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 I mean, just totally normal
Her no, her
and
character completely changes to where she's
completely
not shy at all. Yeah.
right, but you don't, it doesn't seem insincere, it doesn't seem forced, it doesn't seem like bad writing, it's
No.
just really well done.
What did you
um
also get? And there's a picture of her as what you're saying behind me right now. Did you also notice that when she does that, she's wearing the dress that the doll is wearing in the case?
no, but oh my gosh, that's creepy because she makes her
Well,
own
no,
clothes all the way through the movie.
she
So
does. And they're all really like patchworky looking. But now she's wearing a very pretty burgundy dress, just like the doll in the case, except she's not in the case. She's out of the case.
right. Yeah.
And she's
So
acting
again, layers,
normal. Yeah,
layers,
she is
layers.
acting normal.
Hmm.
Bill,
Um,
Bill Pitts.
Bill Pitt, thank you. Yeah. I've got Black Swan because I
Okay.
think it has a lot of that as well. That one's much more about competition as a thematic underneath. This one's much more about introversion and loneliness and all of that. But she still starts developing and turning into a villain by the end of it, and a villain that we
strong
feel
person.
sad about. So
She
we're
goes from
sorry
weak
that
to strong. Yeah.
mostly from being abused and through her own self-hatred and everything else. So really liked that part of it.
I have Betty Grable.
Betty Grable.
Yeah. One of May's lines to the girl with the legs, she says, "Turn around, Miss Grable."
Oh yeah. Okay.
Betty Grable was an old classic actress from the 40s and 50s, maybe, that was
Pinup.
known for her legs.
Yeah, she was
Betty
a pinup
Grable
girl.
was known for having great legs.
You put her on the side of your airplane. Come on now. Yeah.
She wanted Ambrose's legs.
I've got a series of those that are just like the crazy girlfriend, I guess, subgenre. Like Play Misty for me, Fatal Attraction, Repulsion, all of them where the
It's not repulsion. In
Sisters.
repulsion, she's scared of men, not
She's
dating
scared of
them.
men, yeah.
Yeah.
Sisters is the other one I had, which is, again, more complex, but that
It's a
whole be
dual-
careful what you wish
Like a
for.
dual personality.
Yeah, yeah. Almost like, I just thought of it, almost like whatever happened to Baby Jane. We don't know if she's going to freak or move or what she's really thinking. When they get
Dual.
strong, they turn into murderesses or whatever.
True. I don't know that I would consider the Jessica Walter or the Glenn Close characters ever weak or naive.
No.
But
No, that
they
was Be
do
Afraid of
turn
Your
into
Girlfriend.
murderers. For
Yeah.
sure.
That's Be Afraid of Your Girlfriend.
Right.
Almost like, what's that Uma
Psycho
Thurman one
pussy.
that's almost like a comedy? My Super Bad Girlfriend or My Super Ex-Girlfriend or whatever. That one. Have you seen that one?
And I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's Uma Thurman is like a Supergirl, and she gets jealous. It's silly. But
I
yeah,
have
what
one that
yeah, go ahead.
you know. You can go ahead if you want.
No, that was it. That was all my.
Oh,
big
okay. I've
key.
got a couple. One I lifted from IMDb. I saw one, but I didn't see all of these. But there are several references to the famous Italian director and Giallo director Dario Argento in this movie. Adam goes to see a showing of Trauma, which is an Argento film. There is an image from the movie Opera hanging on the wall in Adam's room,
Oh yeah.
as well as a portrait of Argento on the very same wall. So clearly Lucky McKee likes Dario Argento.
Well, and it would make sense too because Adam's movie is Argento-esque.
It's more Romero-esque, but yeah. But I
mean,
had one that
it's such a classically good student film. I was going, okay, that is exactly what students would want to do if they could.
right. I have one I add to that Argento one, and it's the doll. The doll is creepy, and it looks like that creepy doll in Deep Red, which is a movie we covered like our second or third season. Remember that doll? It was a little male doll, but
Well,
this one's a
all
little female
dolls,
doll.
China-faced with glassy eyes, are not to be trusted.
Okay.
He just gives it as a feeling to you, but like I said, doesn't play it up. Even down to like, I think there's one shot in like one of her rooms in the house where she has all the China dolls. She has a bunch of them. Am I getting that confused with anything? I'm pretty sure she does.
No, I think you're right, but I'm trying to remember.
Now, I may be wrong about that, folks. Bill, if I am, let me know. But he just gives it a presence.
Where was
the same
she?
way, huh?
Where was she when she was in a room?
At her house, at her home.
Oh, no, yeah, I think you're right. I seem to remember that.
Yeah, because they would do cutaways too of her making her outfits and they're showing her sewing and stuff like that. And I kept getting these Jane Gum from Silence of the Lambs vibes. I was going, is she going to stitch somebody into a dress or something? Oh,
No,
no.
but it's not far from that. No, yeah.
Correct. Frankenhooker. Yeah.
That's actually another good one, Frankenhooker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want to touch, before we move away from keys, I have one last thing I wanted to touch on, and you've already brought it up, and I've already brought it up, is the connection of this movie and Donnie Darko. Not only is the guy that played the rabbit in this movie, Frank, but to me, you were talking about having a Donnie Darko feel. To me, this is the horror equivalent to Donnie Darko. It's like Donnie Darko is this weird but cultish, cool oddity of a movie, and this is the exact same, but it's horror instead of sci-fi.
Yeah, I really
think,
wonder why this hasn't had more cult following. This is a very, very good movie. And
yeah. I'll tell you why.
I think more attention.
Because the stars of Darko went on to be bigger stars. These did not. And that's why Darko probably has lived on.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because of people like Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
So, yeah. If it's had some big breakout now, they probably would go back to this movie. So, yeah. I am so glad Bill gave it to us, and I'm glad you picked it, because I was very impressed with this film as a horror movie.
Yeah. This, we do, folks, when you do submit a listener request, we do have to vet them because we get so many we can't do, but only so many. So this was one I chose. I think we each chose 2, didn't we? I think we're doing 4.
This year.
Yeah, and this was one of the ones I chose. So,
yeah, it was strong, and I'll have to look up Mr. Lucky and see some other stuff he's done. So
I agree, 100%.
That's what we think, and we'd love to know, Bill, did you give us this because you like it so much or because you thought we wouldn't or whatever?
I guarantee you he has a crush on Angela Bettis.
I'll bet he does too.
Yeah.
I'll bet he does too. But folks, who else out there has a crush on Angela Bettis or likes May, or if you even dislike May, tell us why you don't like it. What did we get wrong, in your opinion, about it? Because we love the dialogue and we love to hear from you guys. If you are new to us and don't know everything, we do have our own Patreon and we have several other podcasts there. We have both free things on the site and also some tiered sites, of course, which help us continue to produce these type of podcasts. And we would love to hear from you guys one way or the other. A review would be nice for us. And Tim, until next time, we go back to the stars next time, right? Yes?
We do, but it's still scary, and we're going to do scary stuff for a while because it's October.
It is October. So we don't mind scary this month. So, yeah.
No, but this is one of yours. This is a sci-fi horror.
Yeah. So think about it, folks. What could be sci-fi horror that we are going to do next week? And we'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
You can't start the car. Johnny has